Welcome back to LFC Transfer Hub, your ultimate home for all things Liverpool. Today we've got huge transfer drama and breaking news.
Liverpool star a revelation in new position as summer signing is left fighting for shirt. Trent Alexander-Arnold could miss Liverpool return after injury. Liverpool emerges favourites to sign absolute tank as he's not keen on move to Premier League rivals. Let's dive into Reds. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to stay updated with every twist and turn in the transfer window. Liverpool star a revelation in new position as summer signing is left fighting for shirt. Arne Slot believes Liverpool now have a player on their hands who could be worth £100 million in the modern market, but while his change of position has been branded a revelation by Jamie Carragher, his superb form spells bad news for one of the Reds' big summer signings. Reds supporters will have felt down in the dumps when Trent Alexander-Arnold confirmed the worst-kept secret in football towards the end of last season when it was revealed he would be departing Anfield as a free agent to join Real Madrid. But as one door closed, another quickly opened at Liverpool, with Slot and Richard Hughes quickly wrapping up the €35 million, £29.5 million, $41 million, of direct replacement Jeremy Frimpong. A stylish operator, the Netherlands star produced brilliant numbers for Bayer Leverkusen, thriving under the management of Anfield cult hero, Xabi Alonso. Having started the season as Liverpool's first-choice right-back, a hamstring injury sustained on Frimpong's Premier League debut meant Slot was presented with an immediate challenge. And after selecting Dominik Szoboszlai as cover there for the wins over Newcastle and Arsenal, the latter of which the Hungarian scored a stunning winner from a free kick, Slot opted to keep faith with him in his new position for their most recent victory, a last-gasp success at Burnley. His sublime form from right-back has now seen Slot rate the player in the £100 million bracket, while Carragher has also been left stunned by what he has seen. Speaking to the media to preview Wednesday night's Champions League clash against Atletico Madrid, Slot stated, "If we sold Dominik Szoboszlai tomorrow, he would be worth £100 million. Carragher, meanwhile, has also been quick to wax lyrical, telling Sky Sports he's, Szoboszlai, been a revelation. He's always split supporters really about his role in the team and midfield over the last couple of years, a big signing from Jurgen Klopp. Where will Szoboszlai's future be for Liverpool, and what about Frimpong?" Carragher insists that the right-back role really suits Szoboszlai's game, adding, "There's something about the full-back position, even though it's early days, that I think does really suit him. He can still go into midfield, we see full-backs invert now, he's got so much running capabilities, he can run up and down that line, he also adds a bit of height to the Liverpool team." So, what's next for Szoboszlai, and will the Hungarian retain his place as a right-back in the weeks and months ahead? Ultimately, we still believe Slot sees the former RB Leipzig man as part of a three-man rotation for roles in central midfield, alongside Ryan Gravenberch and Alexis Mac Allister, the latter of whom suffered an ankle injury and was forced off at halftime in that win at Turf Moor. While Carragher rightly points out that his game is suited to playing there, Slot also knows his influence on games from the centre of the park in a scenario that somewhat reflects the dilemma Klopp had with Alexander-Arnold over the back end of the German's reign. However, what Slot boasts that Klopp arguably didn't is quality cover and competition at right back, with Connor Bradley now coming to the fore and presenting another dependable selection there, while it is also too soon to write off Frimpong. But what the Netherlands star may have to get used to is the unexpected competition for his shirt from Szoboszlai, with the 24-year-old proving both his quality and incredible versatility. Meanwhile, Liverpool are ready to make a huge bid for a defender as a potential replacement for Real Madrid target Ibrahima Konate, according to a report in Spain, and it's claimed the Reds have an alternative in mind to Marc Guéhi. Elsewhere, Liverpool's interest in signing Michael Olise next year have confirmed by more sources. However, their chances of luring him to Anfield may hinge on progress over a new deal talks at Bayern Munich and amid claims that the Reds have three other transfer targets on their radar. And finally, Liverpool have been encouraged that a deal to sign an unflappable Premier League star could be on the cards amid claims of a 40% cut to his asking price, with Team Talk assessing whether his signing would be a smart move. Trent Alexander-Arnold could miss Liverpool return after injury. Trent Alexander-Arnold has suffered a hamstring injury that could prevent a return to Anfield in November, with a recovery period of up to 6 weeks expected. Alexander-Arnold was making only his third start of the season in the Champions League against Marseille, but lasted just 3 minutes before sustaining a hamstring injury. Real Madrid manager Xabi Alonso said after the match that the club were going to wait a bit with Alexander-Arnold's injury as it might not be as bad as it seems. But the club confirmed the injury on Wednesday, and the BBC's Sami Mokbel reports the right-back is expected to miss up to 6 weeks. Real's trip to Liverpool is in 7. Mokbel states that sources have indicated Alexander-Arnold will be out for at least a month, with his absence potentially running to 6 weeks, which leaves an Anfield return, in any capacity, in doubt. Liverpool host Real Madrid on November 4, and there has never been a doubt over the reception Alexander-Arnold would receive once the draw was made last month after boos greeted him at the end of last season. There was no guarantee the England international would start on his Liverpool return, having found himself in a battle with Dani Carvajal for the starting spot, but a place on the bench would not have saved him. Carvajal, however, faces a suspension after being shown a straight red card for headbutting Marseille's goalkeeper. A 3-game ban would see the Spaniard ruled out against Liverpool. There is little love lost among Liverpool supporters for Alexander-Arnold, and that will be reflected when he returns with Madrid, whether that be in November or in the future. Liverpool emerges favourites to sign Absolute Tank as he's not keen on move to Premier League rivals. Liverpool spent a lot of money on trying to improve their ranks this summer. In the end, they spent over £400 million on new players, with some, such as Alexander Isak, not even making their debut yet. Others, such as Hugo Ekitike, have taken to it like a duck to water and have quickly become key cogs in Arne Slot's system. And, although they've improved their first-team squad tenfold, it feels like a lot more could have come from them since the start of the 2025-26 season. Indeed, they may have won their first 4 Premier League games, but if it wasn't for the stroke of luck they've had this term, Paul Merson believes Liverpool could have been mid-table. Even though the transfer window has just closed, talks about potential moves in the January transfer window have started to gain pace, with Liverpool already being linked with several players. Marc Guéhi is now dead set on joining Liverpool in the future. One player that Liverpool ended up missing out on this term was Marc Guéhi. The Crystal Palace captain was given the all-clear to undergo his medical with Liverpool, but in the end, the Eagles pulled out of the deal. This obviously threw a spanner in Liverpool's plans, but seeing as though they had already signed Giovanni Leone, Slot didn't seem too fazed about missing out on the Englishman. Now, however, as he's unlikely to sign an extension with Palace, rumors of a potential free transfer at the end of the season have emerged. And, as per a fresh report from journalist Simon Phillips, it seems like Guéhi has already made up his mind about where he wants to go, amid reported interest from Chelsea. There is an awareness within the club that the centre-back position can be improved still, and they are working to try and find Maresca the right profile that he wants in, he wrote. Marc Guéhi is a player that Chelsea would like to sign, and he is universally liked by everyone at the club. However, the club have pretty much walked from that one because he is dead set on joining Liverpool and was never that keen to return to Chelsea anyway. Marc Guéhi could be the perfect Ibrahima Konate replacement. It goes without saying that Guéhi would be an ideal transfer for Liverpool, with the defender even being described as an absolute tank by some of his teammates. The Englishman has plenty of Premier League experience under his belt and is still just 25 years old, so there's plenty of time for him to develop into an even better player. Of course, he does play as the left-sided centre-back in Oliver Glasner's setup, but since he's right-footed, he'd likely have no problem slotting into Ibrahima Konate's place. At the moment, due to Konate's contract situation, it's hard for Liverpool to make plans for their future transfer windows. The Frenchman has also entered the final year of his contract, and if Liverpool allow him to run it down, he could end up exiting Anfield for free, which would be far from ideal. However, if he does leave, it would give the Reds even more reason to go after Guéhi because it would be a like-for-like replacement, which, for a team that wants to be competing for all the trophies possible, would be essential. Simon Jordan says Arne Slot has said something at Liverpool that's simply ridiculous. Arne Slot has had to defend his Liverpool side a lot towards the start of this season. The Reds have faced heavy criticism over recent weeks due to their poor performances, but what really matters is that they are top of the Premier League after collecting 12 points from a possible 12. The wins have not come in the most convincing fashion as they needed very late goals in all of them, with the latest being a 95th-minute penalty away to newly promoted Burnley. Scott Parker's side were certainly not a threat to the Reds at any point of the game, but their defensive solidity meant they were incredibly hard to break down. A lot was said after the match, and Simon Jordan has been left seething by one comment in particular that the Liverpool boss made, with the TalkSport pundits still going on about it now. Simon Jordan slams Arne Slot's entitled comments. Liverpool were certainly frustrated by Burnley, and if it were not for a big stroke of luck right at the end, their game plan would have worked perfectly. This plan was to sit in and deploy a low block, with Parker trusting that his side could hold on to a 0-0 draw. This is something that perhaps annoyed Slot a little, with the Dutchman mentioning after the game how they did not even try to attack, something that Jordan has been left very angry with. "I was listening to him the other day and I just thought, who do you think you are?" Jordan said on TalkSport. Burnley, "It is so difficult to play against this side as they bank up and don't give us any space. Oh, so Burnley's job was to make it easy for you and open the game up so they can get battered and you go home happy with the fact you've won 5-0? I thought it was a ridiculous observation and entitled outlook. Atletico Madrid are going to do the same as Burnley. Of course, both teams are very different in terms of quality, but Atletico Madrid will face Liverpool by using a very similar tactic to what Burnley deployed against them on Sunday. Diego Simeone's side are notoriously difficult to break down, with their mindset being to defend first, attack second. And, as they will be missing some very key players, most notably Julian Alvarez, the temptation to sit in even further only grows, suggesting it will not be the most entertaining game. So, with that said, it would be no surprise if Slot comes out after the game and makes similar comments again, with this something that will only wind Jordan up even more.
Thanks for watching. Like and comment and subscribe.